right, welcome everybody. It's it's Friday evening, and it's actually the last Friday of the month. And on the last Friday of the month, we always have this special event, which is called the Olympics. Basically, a couple of tournaments in one. A very good opportunity to end the month with some good performances, with some ranking points. Plenty of opportunities to get the ranking points tonight, and the actually the rankings are pretty tight right now. Also, when it comes to number 4 and number 5, which could grant a master rank for the next month. We have some new players that are fighting for it there, some veterans. There's also a little bit of a fight at the top of the rankings as well, and maybe for those who also want to get a nice new role or to get the higher place in the rankings, this is a very good opportunity. But more than ranking points and everything else, the Olympics are always really fun because they provide a different type of challenge, a little bit of a marathon event. And tonight is going to be like that. We're going to have a series of events, 2 qualifiers and a final tournament. And the only difference is that today we're going to have something a little bit. I mean, in the past, regarding the Olympics, we kind of focused on the type of weapon and we put the same weapons together. I mean, that's how Olympics started. We had like saber tourney, rapier tourney. Then after some time, it got dull, so I had to come up with some new ideas. And tonight we actually have something. We basically split the characters into 2 pools, and in each qualifier you are allowed to use only the characters from that pool. And the way it was made also took into consideration the type of weapon and fighting style. So in each qualifier could have a piece of that particular weapon or the fighting style. So for example, Marta and Marie being the only rapiers, they're separate. Zera and Isabella being the only longswords, they're separate. Kalkstein is not in the same pool as Connor. Well, they're not very similar in fighting style, but they have the same weapon. So same for Connor with Marina. Geddy and Laszlo being like very fast cutting sabers. Jan and Bara being very similar. So I kind of put them in pairs of 2, and I put one in one category and the other in the other one. So it came out as you probably saw in the announcement. So we're going to start with qualifier 1, and we're going to start very soon. In qualifier 1, we have Marta, Zera, Kalk, Marina, Geddy, Barabash, Sam, and Hassan. I already see that there are a couple of players who use plenty of characters from this. And why is this important? Because if you get a top 3 spot in the final tournament, you are allowed to use any of the characters from this particular tournament. Jendrik is also available as a bonus character. And there's another catch to it. If you get the gold medal, but your favorite character is in the other qualifier and you cannot make it, or maybe you just don't have like your best night, you can trade that gold medal for that character. But more on that a little bit later. Please check the character selection pool. I also posted in competition calls because that's where I will send you the link. So you can just scroll up and you can see the available characters that you can use for this tournament. Without further ado, let's have a look at the number of competitors here. We have 11, so that's why I said that we need to try to move pretty fast with it. And let's see the participants here. So as I said, we have 11. The format is a double elimination, best of 3 5 flags, and best of 1 5 flags in the lower bracket. So there's going to be a little bit of fighting. We're going to try to make it in 2 hours because that's the goal that we have here. But if it's going to be a little bit longer, then that's fine. Let's shuffle the seeds. Let's do it 2 times. We have 2 qualifiers. no particular reason for that. And let's have a look at the matches. Piper versus Daisy, me versus Oak, and the winner's gonna fight Eve. Yeah, Eve and Oak, or Oak. Now you can see that challenge is indeed borked. Out of 11 people, I'm gonna fight you and Eve, or you're gonna fight Eve. Then we have info and the chesses, and the winner is going to face Synth. Without further ado, let's start the tournament. Piper versus Daisy is going to be the first best of 3 5 flags match. So here we go. Piper starts on the left, Daisy starts on the right. Oh, hey, didn't get Parsec on. Like for me, I think this is like the worst possible draw that I got. But as I said, challenge always pits me against Oak and Eve, so no surprise. Actually, there's a high possibility that both of them are going to use Calc in this one. Eve probably, he also has Getty. Maybe even Bara. Piper on time. Okay. Lovely to see. And Daisy is here as well. Fight. Sharp. Yeah. So best of 3 5 flags, yeah? Piper left, Daisy right, yeah. Marta for Piper, Marina for Daisy. I'll also have to check the the character list from time to time because honestly I don't fully remember it. But yeah, Marta and Marina are definitely in the first one. Tried to go for a push there. Low cut from Daisy, first flag scored. Nice push. 1-1. Yeah, push has got a little bit of a change recently. Some people call it nerf. We're yet to see the extent of that nerf. Two 2-1 for Daisy. Again, the push, but the push itself did not land, so the follow-up hit the shield. 3-1. Oh, some blade away there. Not sure if it was intentional. Nice push again from Piper. Yeah, Piper is a guy that likes to put your hands on you. Oh, tried the back wide there, got punished. I think this is probably one of the few times I've seen the back wide being punished by something. Like a single tempo thing. Again, back Y. Oh. Piper's hurt. Oh! Crazy flag. I don't know what's going on. Okay, Daisy takes the first one. Congratulations. We're going to swap sides. Daisy's going to be on the left, Piper on the right. Swap sides, please. Daisy swap sides. Maybe she left. No. Can you swap sides, please? Okay. Daisy left, Piper right. Yeah. Marta again for Piper. Same character for Daisy as well. Hesitated a little bit. I've seen people changing their picks even after winning. There are a few valid reasons for that. Sometimes maybe it didn't feel like it didn't feel as good as you thought it would feel to play that character, or maybe you think the opponent has figured out something. Maybe the trend is not going in your favor. Plenty of reasons. First kill goes to Daisy. Goes low. Oh, nice. 3. Few attacks there from Daisy. Piper's hurt. 4-0. And Daisy needs only one more to progress to the next round. And that's it. 2-0 for Daisy. Congratulations. Piper will be moving on to the lower bracket and will fight a little bit later. But this fight went pretty fast. Congratulations to Daisy, who will be facing Glorious Purpose a little bit later. Next fight is me versus Oak. And honestly, I don't even know who to pick here. It's a tricky one. I don't really have too many characters that I play in this one. Let me have a look at the list. Nara Kalk, Marina Gedi, Bara Sam Hassan. Okay. Oak. Please connect. There he is. Alright, so we have our first big match here. As I said, it's best of 3. Here we go. Yeah, Kalk. I think I'll have to go with Bara because it's probably the character that I know best from this pool. But if I get beat, I'll probably think of something else.
Hello?
Hello. Welcome, how are you? I'm currently fighting Oak, so I'll be with you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, that was I saw the fight between Piper and Daisy as well. I think that matchup proved very advantageous for Marina.
Yeah, and the way Daisy fought was also a little bit unorthodox.
Yeah, and Piper was just having trouble getting the combinations going, even if he landed a hit. It was getting the follow-ups to land that was hard. Yeah, no problem, Daisy. Nice. Vendor seems to, from what I'm seeing, I'm a bit behind on YouTube, but he seems to be keeping it simple. Just using bars, fundamentals, moving in and out. We even saw a trick shot there. Yeah, I think it's more or less how you want to do it. Some nice exchanges this fight.
Alright, Bara seems to be a decent option. 1 second, just changing the names.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry
Also, I'll
about
join.
switching. Yeah, no worries. Alright, 1-0 for me. Let's swap sides. Yeah, same character for Oak. I think Oak is happy with the distribution since he got the Kalk in one side and Laszlo in the other. Can practice a little bit.
There's a point for Oak there. Good exchanges again between these two. I think Oak is having to adjust a little bit. He's very good with Calc, and you can tell by how he's playing right now, but I think he's had to get warmed up, as he usually plays Laszlo lately. So this second round, we might really see him turn it up a notch. Because that is what Oak does. He'll suddenly make a comeback out of nowhere. That said, the Venator did score a flag. Probably very happy with that. Trying to shut down Oak's momentum this round. And that stab nearly landed. I think Venator was able to sidestep it. And Venator's really looking for a good angle. But Oak's defense remains solid. Good idea of the chop there. Doesn't land because Oak keeps his defense up, but it's a very good harassing move, a good move to snipe the hand, all these sorts of things. To counter stabs as well. Yeah, and Barbash really wants to make use of his speed here, especially up close, but yeah, that stab comes in out of nowhere. I think Venator thought he had it, but not quite. Bit out of range the first time, but second time, good in and out by Venator and scoring a hit to the body. Back Y there, Calc has to be pretty close to being tired, and dead in fact, because that's 2 hits, but they were not on vital parts of the body, but there's the back Y. Good finish by Venator there. The stabs there, thankfully one of them was from too close. Oak was a bit too close to throw it. So Venator is able to get away with a graze, but that still could have been very bad if the follow-up landed. And I like what Oak is doing. He's fighting Venator at his own range instead of Barbash's range, and that allows him to slip another attack in when Venator's on a measure.
Alright, it's 1-1. We're going to swap sides. Son. Alright, let's go. I'd rather lose with a character that I know how to play instead of losing with another one and then thinking, ah man, I should have just played a character that I know.
Okay. Probing attacks there from Oak. Venator holding long guard because obviously he's afraid of being stabbed, and it allows him to unleash some of Barabash's good moves in this matchup, I would say. He has those two advantages, but Oak is well aware that Calc also has a good cutting game, so he's not afraid to come in and beat the blade if need be. That was a good hit. It's been a bit of an active fight there, so Oak took out all his stamina there because he took that hit at first. Stamina can play a big role in this matchup, and that's definitely an advantage that Barabash will enjoy, especially if he does land a hit. Every hit is pretty significant for Barabash here. Going for upcuts there, smart. Aiming for the opening, sidestepping those stabs, and that's a double as Oak intelligently swings right into the sidestep. Big swing there by Oak. And again, I like what Oak's doing. He's using that in and out style of his, but doing it with Calc, so he does it from longer range than Venator might be expecting. And it looks like Venator's struggling sometimes to reply with an attack of his own because of the range. Chop there, out of measure there, and the basket was in the way. I love that quick cut into slower stab. It really messes with your timing. But Venator stays solid. There's a good sidestep. Another, what is going on? Barabash has some weird stuff sometimes. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I think Venator did everything right there, but, you know, Barabash still needs some love in that department, and thankfully he wins that trade.
Just give me one second. I'll be back in a second.
Oh, okay.
Hello. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Well, that wasn't auto guard. That was just Barabash's cut's not registering for some reason. Yeah, it was pretty quick, wasn't it? It is what it is, though. These things happen.
Alright, sorry about
Didn't
that.
realize he... Yeah, no
It
worries.
was a order that I had to pick up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough, yeah.
I
I get it.
I expected it to come a little bit later, but yeah.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, so Venator going with a sidestep sequence there, but it does get blocked. Sidestep again, this time from the other direction. Good use of Barbash's explosive movement. It's a key advantage that he has, and Calc doesn't really have much for explosive movement. He maybe has the dash and the stab, but beyond that, he is very clearly outsped. And even that dash, to be honest, Barbash can still move quicker. So, ooh, he went low there. I assume you wanted the forward B, but you did neutral B, which unfortunately was changed.
No, I wanted to do the low thing, the
Oh, okay. But you
belly
did the
lunge.
neutral one. I
Yeah,
see. I see. Yeah, yeah.
just
I
was
can see how
simpler.
you. Yeah, yeah. It happens. Not a fan of that neutral cut. Won't lie. Ooh, good hit from Oak. Blade beat there.
Nice, GG.
Oh, and a stab. Nice.
Fuck's sake. My controller just dropped.
Oof.
Alright, so next up is going to be info and chesses. A keyboard would never drop like that, yeah. That's true.
That is, yeah,
That is
yeah.
true.
I'll give you that one, Oak. Yeah, you'd have to pick it up and drop it yourself.
Okay, there's chesses. Let's get info as well. Alright, so Oak moves on to the next round where he's going to face Eve. Um, it's quite likely that we're going to see maybe at least one of the best of three fights, Calc Mirror. Yeah, we'll see.
What if your table is just really tiny so your keyboard just drops? Yeah.
There's info. Okay, info takes the left side, and chesses takes the right. Curious to see who info is going to pick here.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, Marta.
to be expected. I was curious because yes, Info did play Martha a few times, but recently I haven't seen her playing Martha at all. So I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe go Jendrik or something. Because Jendrik, as I said, Jendrik is a bonus character. Oh, somebody started the camera thing. How do I turn it off?
Uh, it used to say how you do that right there, didn't it? There we go.
Oh, okay. Alright, here we go.
Okay. Ooh. Good side steps. The classic Vineyard, it works with Samuel quite well as well. Back A is underrated there. Nice from info. Trying to keep distance. Bunch of cuts from info. Bit of a mistake there, I would say. Don't really want to be cutting very much with Marta. Yeah, and it just gives Samuel the opportunity to close in. Nice. That's a pretty cool thrust you don't see very often. It's like if back Y was moving forward. I think it's not used very much because you're often forced to commit to it, so it's probably easy to sidestep, although it does pick a really nice angle.
2-1. Immediately after that, we're gonna get Subu versus Pico.
Hmm.
Pico said something about a meeting, but I think it's probably over by now. Nice one from
Nice.
Chestis, 3-1. Yeah, Chestis is one of the players that has his main in this pool. Double.
Nice double. Good stab. Needs one more here, and that'd be a pretty convincing win for Chessus. Very good player, might I add, because he has challenged the best and even beaten the best before. He's doing pretty consistently well with Samuel lately.
Nice.
Nice sidestep.
Okay, so Chessis takes the first match. We're moving to the second one. We'll see if Info switches characters here or yeah. Yeah, Sam. Chessa sticks with Sam. Oh, Calc. Yes, I remember Info played Calc a little bit.
Hmm. All right, let's see how this goes. Big cuts from Info out of measure, and that's immediately punished.
I was also considering Sam against Calc because of the range, but I thought that he may not be fast enough.
Hmm.
Those
Yeah.
backfires.
Yeah. Good blade beat potential there. Goes in. That's actually a very deceptive move because it brings the blade very far forward, and it makes it easy. Even if the initial cut doesn't land like we saw, you can back Y or do something immediately after, and then your opponent often can't guard. Still, Info actually scored the first one.
Calc for me is a very weird opponent because at times you hit him with stuff that you don't think that they would land, and sometimes you just can't hit him.
Hmm.
I don't know how that works.
Ooh, nice.
I think it's kind of a thing with same with all the characters that have their guards in front of them like that.
Yeah, he's also got a big basket on his hand, which I'm sure sometimes helps
Probably.
with guarding stuff. Yeah. Chessus did come up with a good idea for those stabs, though. That A cut was able to displace one of Info's attacks. Particularly the stab going low now. It's actually a very powerful move that Sam has. Good stabs from both of them. Actually, Sam has a pretty decent stab attack, too.
Oh,
Nice, yeah. Gets past the guard there. Displace the thrust, too, by putting the blade there. That's the other thing you gotta watch out for with that dash attack. It's slow, but the blade's there, so you gotta be careful you don't get displaced trying to counter it. Going low.
oh, nice.
Nice.
Double. A lot of doubles in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it feels like they both know how to hit each other. So when they get in the measure, they just go right for that reliable move they know works. But that often does result in exactly that, a double. But this time Info was able to win, and that cut there opened her right up. I see the intention behind it. It's just some of Calc's cuts have that slow windup, so you're a lot more vulnerable doing them than you think you are. And there's another one.
And by the way, the five flags thing that I've been doing a little bit more recently. It's not only for time purposes. It's a little bit of a love letter to the first Hellish Quart tournament that used to run exactly like this. There were usually five flags, best of three. So although obviously our systems have evolved a little bit, like we're using a lot of custom systems and round robin and
Hmm.
group stages and Swiss and whatnot, sometimes it just kind of feels good to just get back to the roots
Right, yeah.
and play in a very simple manner. No
There's hit to the
complicated
hand.
mechanics, just yeah. 5-3. Chess says this fight was a little bit harder for him, but he managed to pull through. Wins 2-0 and continues in the winner's bracket of this qualifier. And we'll be fighting Synth a little bit later. And Info moves to the lower bracket, which we're going to get very soon. Now we're going to see Subu versus Pico. Let me see first of all if Pico is here. Because he said something about... Oh yeah, he's here. Okay. Good. So you're already here. Just need to put the names. Tricky matchup for you as well, I would say.
Hmm.
Especially in five flags. Pico is very dangerous. He's usually a player that knows how to steal the beginning of a fight. He's not much that comeback person as much as he is like a... there's an expression for this, I forgot it. Like somebody that can just take advantage fast of something. Alright, here we go. I think I already know what's going to be your character for this.
Hmm.
You would make perfect sense because you would also need a top 3 placement in order to keep Barabash for the final tournament. Sam, okay, yeah, this is I would say this is a tough fight for both. I always feel like Bara and the Sam kind of cancel each other out. And a chop lands on Pico's arm there. Little side step. Gets hit. A few feints there from Pico. 2 for Subu. And a nice forward cut 3. One thing about dropping the number of flags is that the length of a fight is not linear. So, for example, a 5 flags fight can end in like a minute, and even in a 7 flags fight, you can get those first flags in a minute, and then for the last 2 flags you're gonna play like for 5 minutes. Nice, Pico gets his first. And a nice side step. 5-1, decisive win here from Subu. But there is a second chance here for Pico. And we'll see if he chooses a different character. He's going with Marina. Alright. Next fight is going to be Glorious versus Daisy. Nice cut there from Pico. Nice side step. Pico gets the first. And the second good side step there from Pico. It's now 2-0. Oh, nice forward cut 3. Caught Subu in his wind up there, I think. Marina can also be very fast with her attacks. Oh, grab attempt there. Blocked. Goes low. Tries to go low again, but then goes high, and Subu gets his first flag. Oh, nice side step. Subu gets his second. 3-2. Oh, goes low again. Subu's limping. Again, a low attack. Harassing Pico a little bit. Pico is moves back a little bit. Oh, goes for the dash thrust there. Subu puts a cut in between there. Important flag here again. The side step that worked the first time as well. 4-2. Again, the left side step there for Subu gets blocked by Marina Saber. And it's a double. Oh, I think Pico may have some... Okay. He's back. Oh, and 5-2. Pico wins the second set. And now we're down to the last one. Subu takes left side again. Pico is now on the right. Subu goes Sam. Honestly, I'd expected a character change. Just to give Pico something else to think about. And I think Sam does well against Marina as well. Oh, nice one. Goes low. A lot of range on that cut. And it insta kills as well. It's probably one of the best leg cuts in the game. It's also comes from the side. But it's, I would say, rather slow. Nice side step. 2-1 for Subu. Kind of go low. Intense match here. Yeah. Oh, and it's a double. Yeah, short matches can be tense. Oh, and the Subu tried the leg attack, but he was a little bit too slow. That's why I said that the leg attack is rather slow. So in a situation like that, it may lose against a faster character like Marina. This time Subu catches Pico going to the side. Close match. Again tries to go low, but then finishes up with the neutral cut. 4-2, and Subu needs only one more to progress. Oh, they're both a little bit hurt. Regardless of how this ends here, I think Subu changing to Sam was a good decision. And goes again for that leg. 5-2, and Subu wins 2-1. A match that I anticipated to be tough for him. Congratulations. Pico will be fighting in the lower bracket and will be fighting me actually, but not right now. A little bit later. And Subu is in round 3. Yeah, it was a tense fight, and the Sam pick was really good for the third. Let's see, Glorious versus Daisy. And I would need to step down for a few minutes. I will leave you here in charge.
Yeah, no worries.
Guys, if you're listening to this, I won't be able to switch the names if you finish faster than I'm returning, but it's fine. You can just swap sides and just continue fighting. Daisy's here. Did I? Oh, I didn't tag Glorious. Glorious most likely is going to use Marina. And Daisy maybe Marina as well, because she won her first match with Marina as well. There's Glorious. Does Glorious need keyboard? I forgot.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. A lot of new players. Okay, so if you're listening, if you finish faster than my return, just continue fighting. Just swap sides and continue fighting. Don't worry about the names. It will be fine. Glorious left, Daisy right. Yeah. Marina.
Yeah, I thought so.
Marina Mir. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Fire. Yeah, and as far as the Samuel pick earlier, I wasn't happy with Barabash's guard, so that's one of the reasons I switched. But I was also like, I need a leg cut that will reach farther. And, ooh, okay, there's obviously something going wrong. Hopefully Glorious will not be hit. Let's back off, fighters. Just unpause. And long guard when you're ready to go. So you guys can unpause. Yeah. All right, nobody got hit. Brilliant. Good sportsmanship by Daisy. Let's just make sure Glorious is good to go. All right, excellent. All right, you guys can continue. I think that was just an input bug or a lag spike or something. These things happen. Nobody's been hit? Wow, okay. Daisy was very unlucky there. But yeah, as far as the Samuel pick, that's the thinking there. I needed somebody with better defenses and just good area denial options against Marina. Sidestep from Daisy. This would be a little bit of an upset for Glorious because he's made a name for himself as a Marina player. But that also, that's the thing. You're fighting somebody new. You're like, I main this character. I can't be losing here. It adds a lot of pressure, I would say. They both had a similar idea there, but Glorious was quicker. Nice dynamic fight between these two, actually. I like seeing that. A push attempt doesn't connect. Yeah, that was the other thing. When Pico was using Marina, I was a little hesitant to throw pushes. I think I threw like one or two, but they weren't successful. I figured that grabs would be more reliable if they would work at all, but of course Piccolo is ready for them, no surprise. So I had to win by the blade, and I think Samuel does a better job of doing that than Barbash. Certainly if played very well. But good counter there, that back axe hitting the hand for Glorious. And now Daisy is hurt. Marina doesn't have a lot of HP. In fact, she has the lowest HP pool in the game. So she does not like taking hits like that. Ooh, now it's a bit of a brawl there. They've been punched each other a bit. Glorious there moves into that cut. Yeah, that made sense. Daisy just moves forward. Daisy needs one more. That is something Marina can do well. She can actually reach surprisingly far with her Y cut. Nice B cut. That's a classic with Marina. And a good move in this matchup. So fighters, I don't know if Venator is here, but you can switch sides and continue. I'll try to remember who's who. Maybe stick with the same skins. That would also be helpful for me.
Alright, I'm back. I can switch the names.
Beautiful. Okay.
Who won the first one?
Daisy.
Daisy, okay. Okay, after this fight, we have Eve and Oak. Eve making his return after some time in events. Yeah, same Marina mirror. Daisy seems to be doing work with Marina. I think already beating Piper, I think it's a good performance now. If she beats Glorious, I think we're looking at a contender here.
Nice deflection there by Daisy. Yeah, Glorious has to be careful. Daisy seems to have at least labbed Marina's moves. I'm seeing her use a lot of like the sidestep B, for example, and just moves like this that are very good against any character you fight against. But I think in this matchup especially, you need to know about them to be successful. So Glorious is having to be more creative, I think, to stand a chance here.
Oh.
Ooh, similar idea, but went low. Ooh. Yeah, this matchup's kind of an enigma for me. Like, I couldn't give that many tips, even if I knew much.
Marinas, when they fight each other,
But
they fight different
yeah,
from what they're
I
they
just
fight
know.
other characters. Yeah.
Yeah, I just know there's certain moves. Like, there's that sidestep B that you should use, and yeah, there's like a few other sidesteps and cuts to the head. But otherwise, I'd be pretty clueless if you had to make me fight with Marina.
Oh,
Nice snipe to the hand there.
Yeah, Glorious is one flag away from losing this, but score 2 flags. In 5 flags, a comeback can be mounted pretty quickly.
Yeah. Ooh,
Nice
kick
kick.
there.
Oh,
Somehow that doesn't connect though. Oh, we
that's
saw that a
nice.
few times actually the last round. Both of them had cases where the cut just wouldn't land for some reason. Oh, trade. But Glorious is able to move, which isn't ideal. For Daisy, that dash thrust was a mistake though.
This time
Yeah.
it works. All right. Daisy with another 2-0. Glorious, as far as I know, Glorious is a little bit sick. Um, and we'll be fighting a little bit later in the lower bracket. But Daisy is going to be your new opponent in round 3. We still have some sorry, some fights to do until then. And now we're gonna have Eve versus Oak, and I think this will be a tactical battle. I think they both respect each other's skills, and even though there are only 5 flags, I think we're gonna see a little bit of a nice technical approach. Most likely, we're gonna see a calc mirror. I think. I would think also that Eve would like to play Getty in this event, but I'm not sure if he's confident in using Getty versus Calc. Not that the Getty can beat Calc, bitch. Um, but I think Getty is a little bit open to a few things that Calc throws. But yeah, we're about to see. Eve left side, Okan right side, best of 3, 5 flags. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, at least one of the fights will be a cog mirror. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Good stab to the
dash.
head there. Yeah.
Yeah, Calc has a couple of attacks that can, especially after the newer updates, some of his thrusts can reliably pass the auto guard in certain situations from certain angles.
Mm-hmm.
1-1. Nice quick counter there from Oak.
Thrust attempt. That snap cut displaces it, but yeah, classic back X.
I think Eve did not want to do that there.
Mm.
It's an attack that Calc players do not usually use. Most likely he wanted to do back X because that's the back X from the left foot forward. So probably a stance problem. Oh, beat the blade,
Nice.
and I always like this move from Calc. Very
Yeah,
effective against
deep
Marie.
lunge. Yeah. Yeah, so in doing that move, nice again. In doing that move, it actually made it a bad idea for Oak to move back. You could see he was trying to get out of danger, but that deep lunge
Yeah,
reaches very far, so it actually helped Eve, I would say.
yeah,
That is something that you have to learn as you get better at the game. Like, when is it better to back off, but when is it actually better to stand your ground or even move forward or to the side? Depending on the move or the situation, it can be better to move in any of those directions to protect yourself better.
Eve is playing a little bit more of an old school Calc
Mm-hmm.
with some dashes, with some side steps. Oak has a nice one. Oak has a more straightforward approach. He likes to get into exchanges, likes to put the blade between him and the opponent.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like applying his Laszlo to Calc. Obviously, he can't move in and out as quickly, but I've noticed he's been, especially against your bar, he was trying to move in and out still to get you to whiff. So it's still a similar principle. Because Calc is slower, it's a more measured way of doing the same thing.
Nice. And Eve gets the first round. I'm pretty sure Oak will stick with Kalk. I think his goal is to just play Kalk here. And Eve has one, so I'm pretty sure we're gonna see uh, the rematch of the mirror here. Yeah. Alright, so Oak is now on the left side, Eve is on the right side. Kalk needs a skin. Maybe I should tell Kubol next time. Like, we need some skins for Kalk. Or maybe just like something, I don't know, a short change or anything. A hat, I don't know. I really don't like it when I see the skin being completely mirrored. It's annoying. Oak with a couple of feints.
Ooh, nice.
Eve is again moving back and forth, switching stances a lot. Tries to follow up too slow.
Mm-hmm.
The side step that the
I
Oak
noticed
just
Eve is preemptively doing that back A.
yeah, the side step that Oak did, like dash, yeah, that one. It usually comes with a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
delay, which most of the time it's actually helpful because it parries the attack of the opponent and also catches him off guard. This
Mm-hmm.
time Eve with some good downward cuts. Oh, nice push.
Oh.
Thrust to the face. Yeah, Oka used to push a lot actually with Kalk. Playing him.
Back X though. Remains a very good move. I think especially here because Calc can get caught on his windup very, very easily by that back X.
Ooh.
Oh, nice. There it is, the back X again. Oak with a bunch of attacks there. Not able to land. Eve can't either, though. The blades get a little tied up there.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
stab.
as I said, sometimes you can hit him when you don't expect, and sometimes just the blade does not go in.
Yeah, in that case, it kind of made sense, though. They were
Yeah.
clashing blades, so. But I get what you're saying. Calc can be a bit of an enigma sometimes. Like, I've had times where like Thunder Punch lands on him easily for some reason, and it felt like Calc couldn't do anything about it, but there's similar moves in the game that Calc will easily deflect.
Yeah, I remember also from my Isabella plays against various Calc players. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I feel, oh, my thrust is landing, my high guard is going through his guard, my side steps are working, and there are certain times where just nothing lands.
Yeah.
Obviously, it depends on what the other player is doing as well, but it's kind of interesting how that works. We're down to the last flag here. Eve has lost the advantage that he had, but he's still one flag away from winning this and not pushing it into the third tiebreak fight.
Ooh. That was like a snap cut he did there, but he canceled it.
Oh, tried
Back
the
X
back
doesn't
X
kill.
and
Yeah.
lost the trade there. All right, we have ourselves a fight here. Have ourselves a fight here. Eve now moves back on the left side, and Oak on the right. we're probably not gonna see any change here in the character selection, considering the performance. Yeah, so we have a full-on calc mirror, and I dare to say these two are probably uh, the best Kalksteins ever in the game. Obviously, there are some other people who played or play Calc very well, but I think these two have a couple of tournaments under their belt with this guy. And Eve gets the first one. And I think Eve and Oak are probably the only two players that systematically mained Calc. I would name
Nice.
Carlos as well, but Carlos is a little bit inactive at the moment. Used to be a very good calc.
First attempts, back axe, nice.
Yeah, he even needs to be careful with that back X because Oak knows exactly when to fire it. Next fight is going to be Chessus and I don't remember. Chessus and somebody. And Synth. Yeah. A little bit of an advantage here for Oak. We're kind of seeing the same thing that we had that I had with him. I managed to win the first fight, lost the second one, and then Oak taking over in the third, riding the momentum. 2-3.
Yeah, I like what Eve's doing with some of these cuts. He's trying to deflect incoming thrust, like that back A, for instance. I think that's what it's for, in part, to set Oak up to get stabbed. Ooh, right back. So dashes forward, then moves back, threatening the push. Oak says, I'm just gonna go for it. Sees Eve's. I wouldn't call it hesitating. I think he was trying to bait Oak in, but he paid for it in the end because he didn't actually commit to an attack. Ooh, that was cool, but yeah. That would have been cool if it was the flag, but Eve was wide open, so Oak managed to at least secure the double. That crooked stab there, but it doesn't quite land. Oak takes it.
Yeah, Oak again with another 2-1 win. Eve did a great job. He will be fighting in the lower bracket though very soon. And in the lower bracket is just best of 1, 5 flags, so it will go pretty fast. Even if you dropped early. Synth is fighting Chesses now. And we're probably going to see a Marta here from Synth. We'll see. And Chesses most likely is going to stick with his Sam. Immediately after this fight, we are dropping into the lower bracket and do some fights over there. We're gonna do all the fights from round 1 and round 2, so that would be a total of 5 fights, all of them best of 1, and after that we're moving back to the winners bracket. There's Chesses.
Maybe be right back.
Yeah, sure. Synth takes left, Chesses takes right side. in this keyboard. Okay, just gave her. Yeah. Oh, Father Zera. Interesting choice. Synth actually played a lot of longsword recently, playing Isabella. Maybe she wants to try Zera as well. Zera obviously has a different approach, but his moveset is not very different from Isabella's actually. A lot of the attacks are quite similar in idea, just different animation. Most Isabella players can play a decent Zera, and most Zera players can play a decent Isabella. Nice one, goes low. 2-1. Double.
Alright, back.
Yeah, welcome back. Synth going with Father Zera here. Third flag.
Nice deflection. And the riposte there. That is something Zera wants to be careful of here. He doesn't want to overcommit to an attack and then get parried by that really good guard that Sam has. But I like that stab that Synth did there. Slipping that in at just the right moment so that the auto guard wouldn't work. Classic move there of Zera. Bunch of cuts, and the thrust nearly landing again, but good spacing by Chessus. He'll have to find some way to close the distance, though. Maybe not so easy if that thrust is ready to go. The back Y does not win this time. We always meme about back Y being the best move. But there we can see it can be punished. The dash and cut there displacing the thrust. That was very well done. That is something people sometimes don't keep in mind when they wonder why is the stab missing. Sometimes if the blade is placed in the way, just because of simple physics, you're not able to quite land your stab because it's been displaced. And it's much easier to do that with a stab than it is with a cut incoming to your blade. Nevertheless, Synth is able to take it. So well done. Yeah, fighters can just switch sides. I think it'll be pretty obvious who's who. So is Synth going with Marta? Interesting. Alright, yep, continue guys. It's not a big deal. Zera's like a specialized Isabella sacrificing movement for a larger pack of terrifyingly quick attacks. Yeah, that's definitely part of it there.
Who won the first one? Synth?
Synth, yeah. Still decided to switch characters here to change things up. Go back Y. Yeah, the back Y is probably one of the moves that will counter that sidestep we were talking about with Sam very well. Because he goes low, and then his arm is right there for the blade to just come straight down and hit his arm. Going with back Y again. It's a tried and tested move for Marta, but there's a good blade beat by Chessus. Names are not swapped. Yeah, we know. It's just we don't want to pause in the middle. Yeah, so just to be clear, Synth is the one using Marta right now, just as Jerry says there. Funny thing is, you won't have to switch if Synth manages, or not Synth. Even I got confused just now. If Chessus manages to win, but we'll see. Synth has no intention of letting that happen as she lands another stab. Blade beats. Oh man, can't get a hit because of that bull. The bull on the guard protecting the hand several times, but eventually Chessus is able to take it. So it is 1-1. Switch sides yet again. Good to see the hand protection working, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough. I think Synth had to switch it up. Now the names are accurate, by the way, for those watching, so. It's not common you see the back Y actually being punished, though. I'm actually kind of surprised. It's almost like the slowness of that cut actually helped because it enabled him to catch the thrust later in the frames of the attack. So he's able to keep beating the blade, and the bull was still keeping Marta's hand safe, but that's not so good if you can't mount a counter-offensive of your own. Synth really had to just think of some other move. Stab there, just goes for it there. And that is something you gotta watch out for, even with Samuel. Is sometimes a stab will just slip in, even though you intend to guard it. Yeah, Chassis managed to close in there. So although the stab did connect, it didn't connect with the point. This time displaces it. Nice use of that lunge.
Yeah, I think
That is really what Chassis needs.
I was saying something else actually. I think I'm not going to swap names anymore because that seems like a lot of interruptions. And if it goes to a best of three, it reverts back to the same player being on the left. So worst case scenario is just like one short fight with different names. So I think that's fine.
Ooh, getting tired there, Chessus. But secures the double. I think he was obviously looking for a clean flag ideally, but still, that keeps him in the fight a little bit. Sidestep, but that actually presents his left arm. I think he had to keep moving. If he kept stepping, maybe he could have dodged it, but yeah.
Oh, got his arm there. Nice.
Yeah, he was tired, so his guard was probably very weak, especially to that type of attack, and just moves into that stab there. I see the idea behind what he was doing, but he couldn't close in time.
The zero worked here for Synth. 2-1. And we're now going into the lower bracket. And in the lower bracket, it works like this. So if you scored the win in your first match and your opponent didn't, you're going to be left side. If both of you scored 0 or 1, then we're just going to do how it is in challenge. And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Pico and I are going to fight. It's a best of 1, 5 flags. And since we both got one match in the winner's bracket, Pico takes the left side. And I am going to be on the right. Not really sure who to pick here, but we'll see. And immediately after that, we're going to do Glorious and Info. And after that, we're going to do Chessus and Piper. Alright, there's Pico. A very tough match for a best of 1, 5 flags. He's on the left, I'm on the right.
Of course, you never know who Peckle is gonna pick. He's very unpredictable. Obviously, there's a limited pool of characters he can choose from, but beyond that, is he actually considering Hassan, or is he playing mind games? That's what you never know. Um, Goes with Sam in the end. I think that's a very reliable pick if you're not sure. Although Venator ends up with Barabash,
Yeah,
and as Venator said,
I
this
can
one can
play
go either
the
way.
I
So
can play the character mind games. I have no problem with that.
yeah,
I can just go
yeah,
all
it can
in.
be very fun. Yeah. So I fought this exact matchup, and I more or less agree with Venator. I have had moments where Sam has been a problem, but I've also had moments where if I'm very precise with Barabash and I apply pressure at the right times, Barabash can overwhelm them. So very balanced fight, I would say, just with advantages and disadvantages for each of them. Good exchange so far. They're actually both playing quite measured there, but Venator nicely done with that sidestep. Sets it up perfectly. The chop there doesn't kill, although it did actually connect. Pekla got a more powerful cut in. It's worth keeping in mind, although the chop is a lethal move, I'm not saying it's low damage. It's more like mid damage as far as the raw numbers. So if you don't hit certain targets, you will certainly take a chunk out of your opponent's health and stamina. It will not be a good time, but you can lose trades with it sometimes. So it's not to say it's not a threatening move. It absolutely is, especially if you hit the head. It's going to kill pretty much every time. But it's just one of those things. If you hit the body instead or something like that, you can sometimes lose the trade. But it can be used as a single tempo to cover yourself and strike at the same time if you set it up against the right sort of attack. So, still a very, very good move to be throwing. Good exchange again there, and I like what Venator did. He did the sidestep and then moved back into back Y. That was very smart in his part earlier in the exchange, but Pekla is used to these sorts of mind games, so he didn't quite fall for it. But Venator is able to secure the chop, punishing Pico there. And there's the back Y right after the sidestep. Another sidestep there. Pekla, a bit too linear, I think.
Is this modded? Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a modded map.
Trying to beat the blade, Piccolo, but Venator good with spacing there. He doesn't let that happen just by moving back when Piccolo goes for a blade beat. Ooh, that was a good try from Pico. Didn't quite connect there. But I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to bat the blade aside and quickly get a hit in. And he's got a back Y of his own. He's reminding Venator of that a little bit, but not securing a kill. Or even a hit just yet. Good exchange between these two as they feel each other out, but there's the push from Venator.
Finally,
And
Vara
yeah.
has a decent push.
Yeah, it does look better. I'll give Kubel that. And I think regardless of what you think about the push, that is a good thing. Just standardizing it a bit so that everybody's got a chance to land it. I think that's good. If they're going to be part of the game. There's a trade there. But Venator actually is a bit more tired. Although they both have their stamina back. Pico throwing a lot of cuts. He has to be careful of stamina if he's going to play like that. That is how Pico does it. The Thunder Punch, securing a trade. Good blade beat. Tries to snipe the hand, but not quite. And yeah, threatening the sidestep. That's a nice move to feint. Pico not able to land a cut of his own. That is a good exchange there. Venator looking to secure this one, but Pekla is by no means making it easy. Both fighting from long guard there. I love to see it. And Pico almost got a snipe to the hand. I like how he's doing it. Oh, back Y. Maybe wasn't the play there, but actually recovering after the high guard cut can be pretty difficult, so... Bunch of cuts from Pico, nearly gets caught by the sidestep, but maybe that was part of his plan. There's a hit to the arm, though. Venator now circling like a shark, and there's the Thunder Punch. Nice.
Nice fight. A lot of baits and stuff. Rule number one is never fall for anything Pico throws. Just stay composed. Otherwise, you're gonna catch it with some funny stuff. All right, Pico, thank you very much. You are welcome to the next one that is going to start right after this. Next fight is gonna be Glorious versus Info. Again, another best of one. No, Jerry. Just in the lower bracket, it's just best of one. We're giving our players a second chance here, but unfortunately, it's going to be a short match. Well, it can be a
Hmm.
blessing in disguise because you can climb the ladder a little bit faster.
Also, welcome Wiggly. That's Wiggly in the chat.
Oh, Pap. Yeah, yeah,
Pap Pap. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're welcome. Or as we say in Greek, yasas. It's like hello, something
Mm.
like that. Glorious Purpose. Glorious Purpose is in a very good position of getting a master rank for the next month, which is a very impressive performance for somebody so new, I would say. Uh, the way the first month and even the second month looked, Glorious is on the left, Info on the right. Um, Called for info. Marina. Glorious. The way the first 2 months looked, it seemed very difficult to get into the top five. There was actually a pretty big discrepancy in number of points. And now we have actually two new players, which are Glorious and Synth, who are very close of achieving that. And I think this is very encouraging for everybody else in the
Hmm.
server.
Good sidestep there.
And today is actually a very good opportunity to consolidate those positions.
I have to say, this is not a matchup I see very often. Actually, that leg cut trades favorably. But that was a really smart move by Glorious because he had info guarding high, and then that low cut is so threatening, and it covers the head. So it's very difficult to deal with if you're on the back foot. Yeah, info just not quite finding the correct angle there, and too close to land the stab, so Glorious takes it.
Sorry.
Uh-oh. You're not supposed to inhale that. Yeah, Venator just died off screen there. No, it's all good. I hope he's doing fine. I'm sure he is, but
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. It's
cool,
fine. I
cool.
just
Inhaled something?
yeah. I was drinking some water and it went on the other side.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, dominant victory here for Glorious. My bad, guys. That's what happens when you're live. You know, life
Yeah,
comes at you
yeah.
and info. Uh, we're waiting for you for the next one. Glorious continues here, and now we're gonna see Chesses and Piper. Chesses will be on the left, Piper on the right. I'm glad you guys are having fun on my expense. makes this more entertaining. Okay, Piper has been waiting for some time, so let's get him in here. Oh, there he is, on time. I like it. And let's get chesses as well. The winner of this fight will fight immediately. How to prevent choking.
Yeah,
This
it's a
video
funny
could
short.
conceivably save your life. Now, choking to death.
Yeah. At least I would have died on a win, you know, in Hellish Quart.
Right, yeah. In a blaze of glory.
Yeah. I think that's something that if we are to die soon, at least we can die on a win. You know,
Mm.
that would be good. All right, we're waiting for chesses here. And as I said, the winner is immediately going to fight Eve. And obviously we'll go to the next round, round 3. And after that, we're not doing that bad with time. Because in the winner's bracket we don't have too many best of 3s. Oh, there's no chesses yet. Then I'm going
Oh,
to.
he's here.
He's here?
Yeah, I just got here.
Oh, okay. Alright. There's chesses. Piper, reconnect, please. Is he listening? Yeah. So chesses is left, Piper right. And immediately after that, it's going to be, as I said, the winner against Eve. And after that, it's going to be me versus Glorious.
Yeah, it's fine, Justice.
Take some sugar or something. Yeah. Commentary is takes priority. All right, I'll go sort it out until these two fight. Just drink some water and some.
Yeah. Too bad nukes are a game of best of one. Very true. Ooh, nice. Low cut there. Another one. Alright, sorry, back. Wow, and on the last flag. Piper gives a cut to the shoulder, not the head, but keeps going. Nice. He had to do that there to secure that. Yeah, so Piper wins it. That was a pretty intense fight. Sorry I wasn't commentating that whole time. Yeah, but I was watching it on my phone. That was an excellent comeback. Well done to Piper.
Oh, it's done already?
Yeah, Piper actually made an amazing comeback. Chesses was about to win it, but then Piper just started going ham.
I see. So Piper moves on. Chesses, you are invited to the next one, the next qualifier, and also to the final tournament as well, if you wish so. So we still have some fights to do tonight. Okay, a British duel here between Eve and Piper.
Be right back.
Yeah. Eve is going to take the left side. Piper is going to stick with the right. Because it's done already, yeah. Don't you know me? Yeah, don't blink. Kai Piper France. Okay, so Eve is here. Just like Pico, Piper is not a guy that you'd like to fight a five flags fight against, best of one. It's just because it's very unpredictable. Eve takes the left, Piper takes the right. Marta again for Piper, and Eve goes with Getty. We probably didn't want to go with Kalk because Kalk can may not be like the best. Oh, grab there from Piper. I would also say that Getty is susceptible to some of Martha's attacks, but he's a little bit faster and has more power, I would say, than Kalk. Chop. Thrust there, they're both hit. And Eve takes the flag after a couple of exchanges. Oh, Piper going with the X again. A little bit too close to Getty's range there. Getty's also immortal, yeah. I think he can take a few hits before dying unless you hit his head. Oh, a nice retreat cut. 2-1. Oh, nice one there. I did not expect such a cut against the rapier from Eve, but there you go, it works. 3-1. 4-1.
Alright, back. Oh, nice.
Second thrust lands.
We're gonna see another comeback, possibly. I'm sure Eve is thinking about that right now. There's a little bit of pressure to avoid that possibility. Oh, push. She blocks it and the cut doesn't land on the head, but Piper has found a continuation after that, so it doesn't actually matter that much.
Yeah, that sucked.
It's a stun. Yeah. Marta's defense was surprisingly solid in that particular instance. Back wide, push into cut, actually. There's a stab from Eve, and that cut doesn't kill, but Piper is very tired. Surely it's over. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
fight.
definitely tried something there, but yeah, he was just tired.
Uh, Eve with a very solid Getty play here against Marta and moves on. Piper, you are invited to the next one. Thank you very much for competing. Next one is going to be me versus Glorious. Um, let's get Glorious in. There he is. Here we go. I'm on the left, Glorious on the right. I'm going for this guy.
Nice, yeah.
I'm not the best player with him, but I think he's
Yeah.
probably a good choice.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not surprising that I agree. Um, just good reach, good guard, so not having a shield isn't as big of a disadvantage for Sam as it is some other characters. Oh, nice. It's definitely a matchup you still have to know what moves work, what moves don't, though. Bunch of cuts there. That could have been bad. And the push, despite the fact that Glorious was starting to recover, it still was Venator's flag, which I think is fair. He was close enough, and that was a big cut, so very difficult to get out of the way after a successful push. And yeah, that low cut there is a very dangerous move. Tough for somebody like Marina to punish. High guard there. Goes in for a push. A bit out of measure, but actually helped, I think. Venator is able to queue up a cut when
So
Glorious didn't expect it.
this is actually one of the things that I was talking about on the server about the ability to whiff the push into a follow up.
Hmm.
Because you can use it as a bait.
Hmm. Dash thrust there, nice. Parry though, Venator was far enough away. Nice. High guard there. Very good psychological trick with a lot of characters, and yeah, that Y cut is actually very good for Sam. I'd say in this matchup you don't really want to throw it naked. You want to throw it when you know it's going to land in the head. But once you've done that, he covers a lot of space with that cut, and it's pretty much guaranteed to hit the head. But yeah, still Glorious was able to counter this time. Venator with his back against the wall. I like what Glorious is trying here. These side steps keep Venator in the game for a bit longer. I think he might have wanted a different side step than what he just did, but that's the thing with Sam. You got to be a little bit careful sometimes with the side steps. I think there's certain ones that are very good, and then others that are often ill-advised,
GG.
and they're easy to throw. But
GG.
Venator takes
I
it.
liked how he was able to punch my pushes a few
Yeah,
times.
for sure.
It was really nice. So Glorious, thank you very much. I know he's a little bit ill, so I'm not sure if he's going to compete to the next one, but if you want to, you're obviously welcome. The registration is still open for the second qualifier, although there are only 12 spots there, so I'm not sure if... actually, let me have a look.
Looks like there's 9 people there.
9. Yeah, 9 people. We're probably not gonna start in 30 minutes as we said. Honestly, I did not
Hmm.
expect to have so many people joining the first qualifier. But yeah. All right, even I move to round 3, and we are going to be waiting um, for the losers from round 3 winners bracket. And now we're going back to the best of 3 format. And the first fight that we're going to see is Daisy versus Subu. And you know what else I felt about the push here? I think this is actually the first time when I'm actively trying to dash push after the update. I feel
Hmm.
I feel that it's not a Bluetooth push anymore, so you can't push Marina from a big distance. And I
Yeah.
got caught a few times, and it feels, although it's still a little bit gimmicky, from a gameplay perspective, it feels a little bit more fair.
Yeah.
Because before that, I could just push Marina from a pretty big distance, um,
Yeah.
and it was actually quite easy. But this time it wasn't as easy as before. Right.
Yeah. It's like there's an out for both fighters, which is, I think, how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
you weren't, even though he got the counter, you weren't necessarily done for either. You still had a way to also get out of that situation. So I liked how it played out.
Daisy taking the left side. Subu is taking the right. This is a best of 3. We're still in the winners bracket. Subu continuing with Sam, and yeah, I actually forgot that Daisy played Marina today, and a very good Marina actually. So Subu is going with a similar strategy here of using Sam's reach, leg attacks, forward cut there from Daisy. Nice one. Daisy has a little bit of an unorthodox style with Marina, so she's throwing some different stuff. So Subu will take a little bit to adjust to whatever's going on. 2-1. Again, a few leg attacks. First of them whiffed, and then the third one landed, but obviously he whiffed them on purpose to draw Daisy in. Daisy not afraid to go into exchange, but loses this one. Double. And again, a leg attack. Yeah, Subu's playing this perfectly. Five to two. Subu takes the first round. Actually, let's switch quickly. We'll see if Daisy switches character or switches strategy here. Swap size, please. And immediately after that, we're gonna see Oak and Synth fighting. Oh, again the same trap. That's one thing that vets do to newer players. Kind of draw them into whiffs. Legitimate fighting technique. Nice. I'm surprised Subu isn't going Bada. He actually went went Bada earlier against Pico, I believe, who was using Marina and didn't have great success. So he thought, okay, maybe I need somebody that I can rely a little bit more in this particular matchup. Double. Yeah, he can definitely beat Marina with Bara, and actually Bara is one of the characters that can do well against her, but he probably wants to go for a more safer route here, and it's working. And in a 5 flags fight, I think you know, maximizing your chances of going through is paramount. 2-2. Double. Yeah, Daisy shouldn't be discouraged here because, okay, she lost the first one, but each set starts from 0. And now she takes the lead. 3-2. I was talking about points of rankings earlier. For old players that are competing from North America or even Southeast Asia in Synth's case, this is a very big opportunity to grab a good number of points. And especially for tournament winners, there is another alternative ranking which is called the First Sword rankings. Only tournament wins are eligible. And that's it. 5-3. And Daisy is back in the fight. So we're going to see round 3 between these two. Adjusted very well to Subu's strat. Yeah, so I was saying that there's the First Sword rankings, only tournament wins go there. Swap sides, please. And if you win the tournament from a different region, you get a significant number of points in this ranking. For example, as a host, I would get 2 points. But if somebody wins from North America, like Subu, for example, they would get 4. Or if Synth would win, they would get 5, which is a pretty big number for these rankings. And those rankings are actually pretty tight at the moment. Yeah, Subu still trusts his Sam, and he actually gets the first flag here. Double. Yet actually, the win against Subu is also synonymous to points because the winners of this round 3 are guaranteed into the semifinals, which means points in the rankings, obviously the possibility to continue in the tournament, and the ability to pick a character from this pool in the final tournament. So a win here is very, very big. course, for somebody that has their main in this character pool is quite important. 3 now for Subu. And now it's 4th. I think Subu with Sam is actually very strong. I think a lot of the top players have that one character that they don't play very often, but they're still incredibly strong with them. And yeah, Subu did great of believing in Sam and wins 5-0 here, decisive. 2-1 win, qualification to the semifinals, points in the rankings, and the ability to pick any character from this pool in the final tournament. So congrats to Subu there. Daisy will be fighting Eve very soon. And the next fight is going to be between Oak and Synth. Oak, when it comes to the rankings, Oak fighting on all fronts. He's the #1 right now. And good performances here today are quite important for maintaining that position.
Yeah, GG, Daisy.
There's Synth as well. Here we go. Oak starts from the left side.
And yeah, that basically...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, yeah, that was basically my... Like you were mentioning traps, that was the whole plan. Just because I knew Sam has a very reliable leg cut, so how can I get Daisy to fall for that move? And so I was trying to whiff it on purpose, dash in with that X cut, and then do it, you know, stuff like that.
Okay, Father Zera here for it's a matchup that I haven't seen in some time between Kalk and Zera.
I have to say, though, I did see Daisy adjusting to the traps, so I have to give her credit for that. There were some times where I was trying the same trap again, and then she wouldn't fall for it. I think the last round, it was just I was combining all of those different tactics and trying to apply a lot of pressure, and so it became difficult. But there's a psychological effect, too. If you have a move that works very well, and your opponent is trying very hard to counter it, it's almost like they have to spend all of their mental energy on that move. It can give you a huge advantage, especially if you seem to be landing it no matter what countermeasures the opponent's taking.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons I usually advocate against moves that can go linearly through the guard, and they're also pretty fast and whatnot, because it's not only the move itself, it's just that the other player will have to focus so much on not getting hit by that move that it just kind of ruins the whole game plan, you know.
Yeah. Thrust there.
It becomes very difficult to ignore that and just play normally.
Right. Yeah.
You need to have some sort of yeah, I mean, auto guard, although we don't necessarily like it all the time, you need to have this sort of reliability, which is, okay, I'm in the correct range, I'm aligned with my opponent, so my guard should work. You know, so
yeah.
you need to have that. You need to have that.
Yeah.
If you get hit because, okay, I moved to the side, or I dashed, or I was trying to bait and whatnot and get hit, that's fine. Like, you understand that I took a risk and it failed. But if you're just like doing everything right defensively and you still get hit, then that's when it becomes problematic. And especially if there's a move that does that consistently.
Yeah. Yeah. In this case, I think it made sense, but I definitely see what you're talking about. There were some moves before that were like that. And yeah, Synth trying to stay in it here.
Um, I don't know who said it. I think probably Oak or somebody said it on the. It's kind of the same thing, like the takedown threat in MMA.
Mm,
When there's a very good grappler, and if he's fighting a striker, the striker cannot do their usual game because they're so
yeah,
worried that they're gonna be taken down that they just can't fight the same. Um,
yeah,
anyway, let's get back to the fight.
sure. Nice trade.
Oak here,
But oh,
yeah, had a good start. Synth had some good moments of comeback, but Oak takes the first. We're probably gonna see a character change here from Synth. I'm guessing. We'll see if that's the case. And yeah, let's swap sides. This is, as I said, this is still a best of three. Immediately after this match, we're going to see Daisy fighting Eve.
okay, switching to the Samuel here. Maybe inspired by some of what she was seeing. Yeah, Sam in general is a really solid character. He's one of those characters, like, if you don't know who to play and you're new to the game, uh, he's pretty simple to pick up, I think. But he still has a little bit of a layer of complexity with his guard positions and his side steps. So he's not lacking in bad tools despite being simple to pick up and play. And, obviously his guard is very good. So you have that to fall back on. And yeah, just in general, very good character. And I really like the traps that you can set up with Samuel. They're really fun to exploit. And something about the high-low stuff I was doing too, it was actually somewhat inspired by Tekken, believe it or not, because I was playing a bit of that with Major Cade, and he was teaching me some of Victor's moves. And I was finding that similar to Barabash, like he can apply a lot of pressure really easily. And you can really catch at least certainly newer players off balance with just by going high-low. So, and there is some degree of setting traps in that game too. So I was trying to emulate that a little bit in Hellish Quart while still sticking to the game mechanics. That's always cool when you play a different game and somehow it inspires something you apply in a game you're already very familiar with. And with Tekken, you have to be very good at those down-forward inputs, especially, or I think they're called quarter circle, technically speaking, but you know what I'm talking about. Those types of inputs have to be very good if you want to make sure you're using your full toolkit. And there's the back Y there from Synth. Nicely done.
Yeah, very good comeback here with Sam being one of the favorite characters for tonight. Synth. Okay, we're swapping sides again.
Yeah, it's funny. We're singing Sam's praises a lot, but I feel like it's been a long time since he's actually been a favorite in a tournament, such that so many people have decided to play him.
Mm.
So it's cool to see.
Yeah, and I think this is what putting characters in different categories, like I've done with the Olympics recently, sometimes
Yeah.
brings out some interesting matchups or choices that people would make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point as well. I mean, it's a big part of why I picked Sam, to be honest, because I was like, oh, well, Isabella's not available, these characters are not available, so Sam was just the logical pick, especially given the matchups I was dealing with.
Yeah. When I was doing the pools and everything, so I just kind of went like this. Okay, rapier, longsword. I made them really fast, and then when I started playing today, I was thinking, oh, I was looking at the characters and I said, oh, I don't really play any of these characters. like
Mm,
like who am I
yeah,
gonna pick? you know, from this one.
yeah. Ooh, this is shaping up to be an epic one, but we've seen Oak just make a comeback out of nowhere, so uh, that last round doesn't necessarily mean as much as Synth might be hoping. At least if Oak has a
Oh,
good plan, but it's so far quite equal.
quick forward thrust there from Synth lands right
Yeah.
on. Yeah, Sam can actually fight Kalk at range because he also
Mm-hmm.
has a very good range with his saber.
Yeah, and he's got those shuffle forward moves like the down forward X, which can also be followed up. So
Oh, nice
oh
push there.
yeah. Yeah, really well done by Synth. And the fact that she is playing all these characters really well is commendable, I think,
Yeah,
given how relatively new she is.
we're down to the last two flags here.
Nice,
Oh,
yeah, the
goes
low
for the
cut.
leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's good in a lot of matchups, not just versus Marina, although Marina is obviously especially weak to it because
Oh,
of
and
her shield.
again.
Again, nice. Yeah, I love the boldness to throw it.
And Synth moves on to the semifinals. Congratulations. A huge win here. We'll be fighting you very shortly.
Hmm.
Congratulations. Oak moves back to the lower bracket, and then we'll be fighting again. I hate when this happens, when I lose to somebody and then 2 rounds later I fight the same guy. But it's going to be just the best of one, so we'll see what happens. Next is Daisy versus Eve. Again, a best of one fight. Loken licks. So let's see. We're gonna do right now. We're gonna do all three fights from the lower bracket. So we're doing Daisy versus Eve, Oak versus me, and then we're also gonna do the winners immediately of these two fights. Eve is here. Oh, Daisy may have a problem, I think. Try again. Reconnect. Sometimes that happens, yeah. Daisy taking the left side, Eve the right side. Anything can happen in this fight. Eve right side. Yeah. Daisy. Yeah, Daisy goes Marina, and Eve probably gonna go
Yeah.
Gary.
Yeah, I think he said something about Calc not being a great matchup here, which I can totally see. Calc seems a bit more rangy, so if Marina can break that up and close in, she's also quicker. So it seems rough for Calc. He doesn't have a lot of leg cuts like Sam does, so in fact, to be honest, I wouldn't have been surprised if he gave Sam a shot either. But Gideon, probably given the fact that he's a Gideon main, makes the most sense,
Oh,
especially given the stakes right now. Nice.
Goes for
Going
leg.
low. Similar principle. Yeah. I'd say this is really the most optimal way to fight Marina. Just going high-low. Oh, but this time,
Yeah.
that false edge cut doesn't quite land.
One thing that is very good about newer players is that they don't overthink stuff, and sometimes it works in their
Hmm.
favor. Like they see you going low, they're just gonna attack you high or something like that. And yeah,
Yeah.
if you're trying some complicated techniques, you can throw them off. But sometimes they will just simply respond to something and and kill you in the process.
Yeah.
So you gotta be careful.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if they have good instincts or they come from some other fighting game background. Uh, they often get the gist of it, of how to counter moves like that,
It's
just
kind
instinctively.
it's kind of the same thing, even with Tekken. Like I was watching Warden play, and obviously he was playing at a very high level, Tekken King, whatever
Hmm.
rank, and him and his opponent were respecting each other a lot when they were fighting. But when I was fighting in the lower ranks, like my opponents were giving me like zero respect. Like no matter
Yeah.
what I did, so they would just go in guns blazing. Anyway,
Yeah.
Eve gets a second kill here. Two
Yeah,
to
it's
two.
2-2. It's actually pretty intense, yeah. Definitely not an easy fight for Eve, especially if it's a 5 flag fight like this.
Yeah.
Just going in, I like what Daisy's doing there, but still backs off when it's looking a little questionable to continue. There's a leg cut though. Eve getting momentum back, but isn't able to secure the kill. Still, this is very good. That disables the dash thrust, so Eve doesn't have to worry as much about ranged fighting there. Nice.
And again.
Good hand snipe.
Yeah.
One more needed. Here's where the experience is coming in now that Eve's made some adjustments.
Yeah. Oh, and again.
Nice. Yeah.
Just barely hits the leg there, but gets caught.
Oh,
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about.
yeah.
You did some
The
complicated
yeah.
stuff. That was like beautiful.
Mhm.
It was inch perfect the hit to the leg, and he moved back
Yeah.
immediately after he hit, and then he just gets hit in the face. Yeah.
Yeah. Makes you realize how fortunate Sam is to have a leg cut that will pretty much always kill. I mean, we saw a few times it didn't kill, but that was because it like hit the body or something.
Great fight. Eve, you can stay here in Parsec because you're going to be fighting. You're going to fight very soon. Nice fight. Great performance from Daisy. I have to say, overall, she got pretty far in the tournament and managed to challenge a few good players. The first two wins were very good, and yeah. Next one is gonna be Oak versus me, so I'm gonna try to take revenge here after losing in the first round against him. And as I said, immediately after this fight, the winner will be fighting Eve in the semifinal. Yeah, he's going with Kalk. Let me see. I got Marta, Katie, Sam, Zera, Hassan. Yeah, let's do the same matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Bar is fine here personally. You just gotta use his advantage as well.
Yeah, I think um, most of the flags that we had were just kind of decided by timing at one point.
Hmm.
So I didn't feel like I was at disadvantage or anything.
Right, yeah. Ooh, both trying to tag each other with similar sidestep snap cuts there. Oak on the offensive. That was an interesting trap there he tried to set. But yeah, this is peak Hellish Quart, so sometimes they don't work because the opponent reads it. Or even if they don't read it, they follow the principles of the game, so they more or less keep themselves safe. Oh, that was dangerous for both of them, but Venator gets it. That sidestep, say what you want about it, it definitely has its drawbacks, but when it lands, it lands. So it was a bit of a Hail Mary, I would say, but it paid off. Sometimes you just gotta do stuff like that. And Oak is just marching forward, obviously very confident in Calc's guard. And understandably so. That got a little messy. Barabash is usually better in those situations
The first
than
dash
Calc.
push with Barabash in history.
Yeah.
That was. It didn't even look like a dash push, but it was.
Yeah. Sidestep there. That was cool, but unfortunately too far. And Oak was also being smart with his defense, I would say, so he might have blocked it regardless. Really depends on timing and spacing here. I like what Venator's doing, harassing the guard, but not getting too close. If Oak were to make a mistake in those instances, Bar would have a clean hit. There's a double. I love the intention there, but Oak was able to also hit him. Good sidestep, a little too far, but again, the idea is really good. Oak is just doing a great job with his distance management. That's always been one of his strengths. And that cut didn't. Wow, okay. Venator deserved it, but he did this big cut to Oak's neck, and nothing happened at first until he did the retreat cut. That's why it's very good for any character, not just Bara, to always have a retreat cut in your muscle memory. So you're ready to throw that just in case something goes wrong. Because if your blade is making contact, you're still likely to land a hit afterwards. Sidestep and another sidestep. It actually works. He parries the blade there. Bit of unpredictability on Venator's part. Oak now has to lock in. Snap cut attempt. I see what he's trying to do, but Venator's sidestepping, so it's not landing. Sidestep there. Blocks, but yeah, that's again where having a retreat cut ready to go can really help you out, because Venator did get some damage in despite that. And they're perfectly done, actually, that cut.
Gee.
Not used very often.
Alright, trust your Bara. Trust your Bara sometimes. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this win, I'm not gonna lie. I was actually pondering if I should pick somebody else after the first fight, but it went well. Okay. Oh, let me just change the score here. Okay, so next fight is Eve versus me, actually. Semi-final. So the winner of this will get a top 3 spot, the ability to use the characters from this pool in the final tournament, ranking points, and obviously the right to continue the tournament. I feel that the pressure is now a little bit more on Eve than on me, because he has most of the characters that he plays are in this one, but he likes the wheel as well, so we'll see what happens. Okay, Eve takes left side. I am taking the right side. Who to pick? Going with Bada. Honestly, I can't refuse a Bada mirror. So let's go. We had some really good Bada mirrors back in the day. Now, neither of us use Bada much.
Hmm.
But we'll see. I know he has some particular tricks with him.
Feeling each other out a bit. That was close. Wow. But Venator does not score it. Goes low. I love that combination that Eve just did. And I love to see the bar mirror as well. Obviously, the combination is a little bit risky because your head is inherently exposed, but as we saw here, Bar really ducks his head, so sometimes you can actually avoid the incoming blow. And it's a really good mix-up attack. Venator does the squat cut, a little bit different, but a similar idea. The nice thing about the combination Eve likes doing is it starts from that B cut. So it starts with a threatening move as well. Both do the same sidestep there. But nobody was hit. That's the best when you mirror your opponent like that. Good combo from Eve, the A cut and the snap cut. Eve is showing a little bit of unorthodox bar bash play, but not in a bad way. He's just using moves that are a bit less popular and mixing them in with the meta moves. There it is, the down back Y, which you don't see often, into the sidestep. Perfect setup by Eve. Bunch of movement. There's the chop, though. Yeah. Yeah, I think Venator's trying to play a bit more of a simple bar bash, which is not a bad thing, of course. It's just a different style. He's trying to punish Eve while Eve's doing these more complicated strings of attacks. Nice, yeah, sidestep. That is the beauty of characters like Barabash, is you can approach them in different ways, even if they have a set number of moves that are... And there's a dash push attempt there, but even if they have a set amount of moves that are sort of the meta moves, if it's a good character, he'll still have a bunch of other attacks that maybe you don't see that often, but they're still effective. Sidestep forcing the double there, that was risky, but at least it wasn't Eve's death there, which it well could have been if that missed. Sidestep attempt there, but immediately goes for an upcut, slashing the belly open. And because Venator is in windup, it just didn't do the damage. Hula Hey there, you don't see that very often. But it throws Venator a little bit off balance. Perfect low cut, I think he cancelled it too. Into the belly lunge, nice combination. Really love what I'm seeing from Eve's Barabash here. Bit of a feint there. Again, you don't see that very often. It feels like Eve is just using all the moves that you don't see often. Oh, and that feint was immediately punished. Love the feinting from Eve, but this time Venator is able to call him out. And that's probably what Venator wants if he's going to win this, is to call out those feints with something that will land. Because we all know that Eve loves that sort of gameplay. But that's easier said than done. It's very easy to say, oh, if he feints, I'm just going to go for it and cut. But what if it's a real attack? Or what if Eve mixes it up with a sidestep to counter your call out? It's definitely not easy. Belly lunge doesn't connect, but to be fair, I think that chop was going to trade favorably, so it was messy for Eve no matter how that turned out. Still a good attempt. Now we're down to the last flag. And there's the chop. Yep, keeping it simple.
Probably
like it.
Try to do something there. Great
Yeah.
fight. Great fight. Always a good bottom mirror. All right, Eve takes the fourth place here. Hopefully, we're gonna see Eve in the next event as well. As I said, fourth place usually gets also a consolation point there in the rankings for their efforts. And what I'm gonna do here, first of all, is just go back to my Xbox controller. Because honestly, I mean, the PS5 controller is really fun, and it worked for me for a little bit, but now it's just kind of drifting to the sides, and I just,
Mm.
yeah, unfortunately, uh, gotta go back to the old thing. I thought it was just like, because it happened on Tao's host, and I thought it was just kind of just a parsec issue, but yeah, too bad. It felt really nice. Let's go back to the Xbox. All right. We're back to with the semifinals of a winner's bracket. Rat Hat overpowered, yeah. And we get Subu fighting Synth. A very interesting semi-final. It's actually a winner's bracket semi-final between the two players that are not from Europe. Considering this is a European tournament, European hosted tournament. Okay, Subu is here, and Subu starts on the left, and Synth is on the right side. Here we go. Yeah, Synth has already done enough, I would say, in this tournament, but it's more of a whatever comes after this is just a bonus. Here we go. Subu versus Bara versus Sam. Double. I'm afraid I have to leave you guys a little bit alone. If the fight ends, just swap sides and continue fighting. I'll be right back as soon as possible. sorry for the lack of commentary. I'm assuming Subu is red, the red Sam, and Synth is the hobo Sam. 3-1. Oh, Sami in red. Okay. Oh, Synth is red. Okay, my bad. My bad. My bad. So this is the second match, I assume. One zero to Synth. Oh, that's important. Synth could make history here today, being the first player that. Actually, it's not the first player, but one of the few players that wins a tournament in Europe, being from Asia. The other one that I'm thinking is Picado. He won a tournament on my host a few years ago. Picado being in Korea. 5-0, oh, okay. Interesting. Alright. So, if I understood correctly, Synth won this 2-0.
Yeah, GG.
Okay, so we got Synth in the grand final. Congratulations. And Subu, we are supposed to fight. Do you need a minute?
No, I'm good. Let's go.
Alright. I am going to be on the left side. You're going to be on the right side. So Synth is about to make history here. Already a very good performance. What's this? Okay, let's leave it at semifinal. It's fine. Here we go. This is a best of one. I am going to be on the left. You're going to be on the right. Don't know how you do it from the other side. Yeah. Synth is obviously a very good player. Like almost every tournament, she's very close to the top spots. Oh, yeah. Let's go through another Baramir. Alright, here we go. Nice. Don't do it. Oh. Man, if you got that one. Yeah, one of Subu's superpowers here is that you never get a bait him. You can't bait him into anything. You just have to out-time him. Yeah, only exchanges like this. Oh, GG. Good fight.
GG.
Yeah, that was a really fun fight. The Bada fights, I think, are pretty fun. Bada has no thrusts. Yeah, I think he needs a thrust. He needs a real thrust. Give him the corkscrew.
Yeah, you could just make the Y thrust a stab. Yeah.
Give him the corkscrew. All right, so Subu
I
takes.
don't think he needs that.
Yeah, Subu takes the 3rd place here. Congratulations. I think this is actually quite important to you because you got to keep for the final tournament Bara and Sam and maybe some other characters you'd like to use, so that's always good. And top 3,
Mm-hmm.
I also probably mentioned, but I'm gonna say it again. Top 3 also secures a spot in the winners bracket in the final tournament, so that's also important. Right, now we are in the final, so it's gonna be Synth versus me. Obviously, everybody's going to cheer here for Synth playing from Southeast Asia against the host. Everybody hates the host. Yeah. So we need to do a best of 3, and if I win, we're going to have another best of 1 final. But if Synth wins, obviously the tournament is in Synth's favor. Yeah. So we're gonna go with Usami, Saint Usami. Should I use Usami actually as the name instead of Synth? Which one do you like more? Synth or Usami works. Okay, let's go with Synth. Great. Here we go to the grand final, best of 3. Yeah, Synth is connecting. Everybody cheer for Synth Usami here. She definitely needs it. But I'm not going to throw the match, so I'm going to do my best. And we'll see if we're going to see a little bit of a legendary run here. Yeah, we're a little bit behind on time, but I think we're still pretty good. Synth, take the left side, yeah. Oh, there's gonna be a Sam. I'm gonna go with bottom.
Yeah, good pick.
I was saying something I forgot. Anyway, let's fight. The Xbox controller feels a little bit more sluggish than the PS, but at least I have full control on my character. So
yeah, it's probably more important.
I'll be completely honest with you, like 1 or 2 flags against Oak, when I did those side steps and they actually landed, I didn't mean to do those. It's just my controller drifted to the side and it happened. So
right.
sometimes it worked in my favor as well, but actually I prefer to have full control
Yeah,
instead
of
of
course.
random stuff.
Can mean the difference between being hit and not being hit.
Yeah.
Good chop there. Synth being a bit defensive, as you often should have, Sam. It's actually Venator who's trying to dictate the tempo right now. He's doing a good job so far. Nice bit of the B cut into A cut. It's a good move for area denial sometimes. See how it forced him back, and that sidestep there again lands. Yeah, Venator's bar bash is very good. Oh,
that sucked.
interesting. Yeah. Snap cut beats the blade just in time. Wow. And the chop. Yeah, that was a very clutch blade beat with the snap cut actually, but Venator just did.
Yeah.
Trick shot, but there's a hit to the hand, yeah.
Nice, GG. All right, you know what? Let's just keep the same side so we won't lose time. Just pick your character, Synth. I'm good to go from the left, from the right. Just pick your character. I don't know if I should pick somebody else. Yeah, probably not. Let's just go Bada. Oh, Zera.
Interesting.
I'm not gonna count my chickens here, but Bada is usually a Zera counter.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see. I will never be very confident going against the Zera.
Yeah, Venator opening the engagement there. Trying to close the distance, but yeah, that stab. That is one thing Barra does have to watch out for, but I would say he's got tools to deal with that. There's a cut from Synth. Yeah, Synth's just firing some attacks out there that will kill if Venator's not ready for them, so very nicely done.
Nice.
This work, wow. Yeah, that's a good idea as well. The Master Strike, although it really wasn't the most successful of Master Strikes because she did take a hit, but it still worked in her favor. Usually if a Master Strike, you don't want to be hit while doing it. Even if your blow is more threatening. That's not to take hits, but that is a risk, an inherent risk to trying to cut into a cut sometimes. And actually, although Venator was confident here, well, actually, he almost scored that one. That was a good try. I think Venator did everything right, because Zera's HP is a little bit high, so sometimes he will survive stuff. Oh, it's a double. After all that.
Do the Quali Infinite backwise.
I will say, Synth is doing a great job of keeping range in all seriousness. It's making it tough for Venator to close in, and those stabs are something that Barabash always has to keep in mind, and Venator now is employing some good countermeasures against them, but it's making it hard to finish the fight, even after landing a hit. Good try from Venator, but again, the back Y. Big cuts by Synth. I like Synth's style of Zera, I have to say. Throwing some Zorkows in there even, which you don't see often, and that was a hit, but not a killing blow either. Thrust is displaced there, but yeah, that was like back X, yeah, or back Y, yeah.
Gotta be ready for that.
Yeah. Belly lunge, chop, good exchange there, but Not able to find a hit. Venator actually managing to avoid a hit to the hand there, but he does take a hit now as he walks forward. I mean, his goal is pretty clear here. He needs to find a way to close in, otherwise Zera will just pick him apart. The question is, how do you do that? Even that push wasn't quite able to do it because Synth was ready with a cut. Sidestep, nice. Maybe we'll see Venator come to life a little bit. Certainly if you're Venator, that's what you want, because this is not looking good. Displacing the thrust. But yeah, not able to get a hit. Well, yeah, there's a blade beat there with that thrust, quote unquote. It's a push cut, obviously, but still looks kind of silly. But that's how it works. So. Ooh, punished the whiff with a cut, which was perfectly done, but the follow-up, there might have been a snap cut follow-up he could have done, Venator that is, but I'm not sure. There was a little, just the engagement itself was kind of tough to follow up from, but that chop does land. Back Y. It's a hit to the left shoulder, I think, though, so not a kill. Still not good for Venator here. He's being hit by range. It almost tags the hand. I really like what Synth is doing with Zera, and there it is, yeah.
All right. We're now into the last last match and possibly the last match. Pick your characters, 1-1. Who else was available? Hassan.
And there was Sam as well.
Sam.
Mark, yeah.
Getty.
Gideon, yeah. Yeah, Gideon definitely.
Okay, let's go Hail Mary.
Okay, Marta. I've seen Marta do well here. So.
Yeah, I think she has a couple of things.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could have done with Bada as well, but I just I always have to get close and I get caught by stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, you just don't have the reach advantage, so it feels like you're playing catch up. Yeah, I get it. There's the thrust. Even despite the picking Marta, Zera still has some surprising reach. So the reach advantage that Marta enjoys isn't that great, but at least it's a lot better than Barbash, so it's still a huge improvement. Her longest range attacks will have more reach too, so. Limping actually, must have hit the leg.
This guy's immortal.
Yeah. Long guard from both of them. They're both trying to wait for the other opponent to leave an opening, and then whoa. Okay, that made sense. It's just the stretchy arms was was really weird. Okay, sidesteps showing some of Ezekiel's movement there. Bunch of thrusts there resulting in a trade. Marta, thankfully, is actually pretty tanky. So, yeah, that was quite a hit she actually just tanked just now.
Nice.
Out of measure there. I wonder if Venator's looking for a stab or if that was a blade beat attempt. That's always a danger of Marta, if you're unaware of her moveset, or if you just make a mistake, you think you're in long guard or you're not, or who knows what, and you can throw a cut when you're intending to throw a stab, or vice versa. There's a stab to the wrist, although it did take a hit, but it wasn't a good enough one. So Venator's still in it, but he has to make sure he wins this one. Definitely some catch-up to do here. I do think Marta's going a bit better than Barbash, though.
Nice.
Oh, but
Nice.
yeah.
And Synth wins the first qualifier. Congratulations. Southeast Asian player. Yeah, probably Bada would have been still better. Wins
Yeah.
the tournament. Congratulations. A lot of points on the rankings, a lot of stuff, a lot of rewards. And congratulations, well deserved. Beat, let's see who she beat. So she beat me, she beat Subu, she beat Oak, and Chessus. So that's a very impressive lineup of people. Congratulations, winner of the first event, and could pick all the characters from this pool. We're gonna see you guys in 10 minutes for qualifier number 2. Let's see how many people we got there. Only 8 people, so might go a little bit faster unless somebody else joins over there. You still have 10 minutes to join if you want. And yeah, what can I say? It was really fun. This first qualifier. Now we're gonna go on the second one. In the second qualifier, we got some. We got Marie, Isabella, Connor, Laszlo, Jan, Jacek, Tarnavsky, and Alexander. So it's definitely gonna be a fun tournament. So I'll end this stream and I'll see you guys in roughly 10 minutes for the next tournament, next qualifier.